I used to be known as the top surgeon in the medical world. They called my right hand the hand of God. Then I was accused of medical murder, lost my license, and went to prison for 7 years. After getting out, I changed my name and started working as a car washer on the street. One day, my whole family barged into my car wash shop. My mother, Sophia Hart.
Lydia, your sister Jade is sick. You're the only one who can do this super delicate surgery. Please save her.
My father grabbed my shoulders and...
You're the best doctor we know. Get in that hospital and save her.
My fiancé, Gavin Winters, pulled out our old engagement agreement. I forced the wedding ring back onto my finger and cried,
If you save her, I'll marry you right now.
I raised my hand, the one that shook so bad I couldn't even hold a brush steady. Did they really forget? Back then, my doctor and stepsister Jade was covering up a medical accident. My fiancé cut the tendons in my hand himself and not to force me to sign a confession. In prison, he was bullied and tortured. In the end, I died of depression in that cold cell. When I opened my eyes again, I came back to the day I was sent to prison for a crime I didn't commit. This time, I didn't fall apart. I decided to survive. I went through hell in prison. Bullied, tortured, you name it. But I never lost hope. I used my medical skills to treat people and build connections. Because of my good behavior, I got my sentence reduced several times and was let out. Now, my palm still twitches like crazy.
You forgot? You're the ones who destroyed this hand. And now you want me in the operating room? You want her to die faster?
Lydia, I'm begging you! Save Jade! She's only 29. Her heart's aorta is torn. Every doctor in this says you're the only one who can do this surgery. She's your own sister!
My own sister?
I'm the Hart family's biological daughter who got lost. They found me when I was 22. I thought I finally had a family. But you know what happened? They only found me because their adopted daughter, Jade, caused a medical accident that killed someone. They needed a scapegoat to cover up her scandal. My ex-fiancé, Gavin, still acted like some rich jerk. He pulled out our engagement agreement.
Lydia, if you come to the hospital right now and save Jade, I'll forget about the medical accident. This marriage agreement still stands. I'll marry you right away, and you can be the Hart family's daughter again.
Listening to all this, I just felt a sharp, crazy pain. He forced me to sign the confession. My dad, George Hart, just said coldly,
The Hart family doesn't need a useless daughter like you. Jade is our pride.
Now, I slowly lifted my right hand right in front.
Save her? Mrs. Hart, Mr. Winters, you two must have pretty short memories, huh?
I yanked up my sleeve and showed them the scar that would ruin any surgeon's career. Every word came out like a knife.
You're the ones who destroyed this hand just to protect that fake genius. You want to save her, or you want to make sure she dies even faster?
My father, George, got furious. He slammed my workbench so hard that all the little parts rattled and made a loud clanging sound.
Lydia Gray! Stop putting on an act! You've got Hart blood in you, but you're full of nothing but cheap gutter trash! If it's money you want, just say it. You can have as much as you want, as long as Jade is okay. But you're coming with me right now!
In their eyes, me, their real daughter, wasn't worth a single hair on Jade Moore, the adopted daughter they'd raised for 20 years. Even though they destroyed my right hand, the thing I needed to survive, they still wanted to suck every last bit of value out of me. I coldly pushed away Sophia's hand that was covered in grease, turned around, and kept washing the car wheel, like they were just a few puffs of air.
Get out. There's no hand of God here. Just a cripple working as a cleaner.
My refusal clearly pissed Gavin off. He let out a cold laugh. There was a cruel, determined look in his eyes. He pulled out his phone and started a live stream. As the son of the Winters Group, he had millions of followers. Everything he did caught the whole city's attention.
Everyone, this is the Hart family's long-lost biological daughter. Our whole family got on our knees and begged her to save her sister who's hanging by a thread.
He pointed the camera at my messy, oily back.
But because she's jealous that Jade is better than her, and because she wants more family money, she's holding out for a higher price and refusing to help.
The live stream exploded instantly. The comments came flooding in like a crazy tide. Oh my God, is that the murderer doctor, Lydia Gray? She got out of prison and still won't leave us alone? So what if she's the real daughter? She's just a bad seed. Find her. Someone like that doesn't deserve to live. Drop the address. I'm gonna send death threats. Inside, I was totally calm. During those 7 years in prison, I studied medicine every single day. Even though my right hand was ruined, I taught myself to stitch with my left. And in prison, I saved an old man with a shocking identity. Before he died, he gave me all his overseas medical resources and connections. I got out early and hid my name. Not to just survive, but to wait for this day. Wait for Jade, that fake who stole my work, to climb to the top, to come crashing down.
Lydia Gray, look at these comments! You're already public enemy number 1. If you don't go save your sister today, the Hart family will release a public letter disowning you. You'll disappear from this city for good!
My mom, Sophia Hart, chimed in too.
Lydia, how can you be so cruel? Jade isn't our real daughter, but she grew up with us. She's me. She's thousand him. Sober her, sobing yourself.
The last bit of family bond inside me snapped for good. I turned my head and showed a weird, creepy smile to the live stream camera.
Fine. Since you want me to do the surgery that bad, let's go.
That smile made thousands of viewers feel a strange chill.
I hope you won't regret it later.
But I couldn't leave with them right away, because the angry internet mob got there faster than I thought. A few aggressive young people stormed the car wash.
Murderer! Get out of our town! Animal! Go die!
Rotten tomatoes and rotten eggs smashed into my sign. Someone rushed in and kicked over my cleaning tools. The shelf holding them scattered everywhere. George Hart and Sophia Hart just stood there, watching, even looking a little satisfied. In their minds, only by pushing me to the edge would I finally do what they said.
Since Lydia agreed, don't let her waste any more time here. Teach her a lesson.
The bodyguards all rushed in. It wasn't really helping. It was more like a robbery. They smashed my table. They stepped on and broke my only old radio. That radio was the only way I could hear the outside world when I was in prison. Cole Fields gave it to me. Cole Fields is the younger brother of the victim from the medical accident Jade caused. When everyone else hated me, he was the only one digging for the truth. For the past 3 months, he's been helping me fix my crippled hand. I protected the broken badge in my chest pocket and said quietly,
George Hart, you're gonna regret this.
George Hart laughed coldly.
Regret? The only regret I have in my whole life is finding you from that slum. Look at yourself. You don't have a single bit of heart blood in you.
My fiancé, Gavin Winters, walked up, holding a black stun gun in his hand.
Lydia Gray, try any tricks. Jade can't wait any longer. If you try to run on the way, I won't mind ruining your other hand too.
Blue electricity crackled in the air, making a scary sound. He didn't hesitate at all. He just jammed the stun gun right into my back. The shock took over my whole body in a second. All the air got sucked out of my lungs. My vision went black. I collapsed hard on the floor. Right before I passed out, I heard Sophia Hart's disgusted voice.
Hurry up. Don't get the ambulance carpet dirty. Seriously, giving birth to something like this is just an embarrassment to the Hart family.
I was dragged out of the car wash shop like a dead dog, and the live stream was showing everything in real time. When I opened my eyes again, I was locked inside operating room number 1. Jade was lying on the operating table, her face white as a corpse. A few young doctors stood around, completely lost. My father, George, mother, Sophia, and fiancé, Gavin, were staring at me.
Lydia Gray, the scalpel is right next to you. Only you can stitch JD's heart. Don't even think about playing dead.
There was no care in their eyes, just pressure.
If you can't save her, I promise you're never leaving this operating room alive.
I glanced down at my trembling right hand. I slowly picked up the scalpel.
Jade Moore, you didn't see this coming, did you?
I leaned down next to the unconscious Jade's ear.
In the last life, you took everything from me and let me die in prison. In this life, I'm sending you to hell myself.
Outside the observation window, George Hart saw me not moving and lost it. He slammed the glass and screamed loud enough to shake the room.
Lydia Gray! What are you waiting for? Cut! That's the aorta! If you don't do something, she's dead!
What's the rush?
I held up my shaking hand.
My hand is ruined. You saw it yourself, didn't you? Every cut I make right now is pushing Jade closer to death.
I deliberately slowed down. I clumsily picked up the suture needle with my left hand. The truth is, I'd already mastered doing surgery with my left hand in prison. I was even more accurate than I used to be with my right. But I pretended to be weak and struggling. I wanted them to watch, with their own eyes, as their precious little genius fell apart, hope slipping away bit by bit. More importantly, I was waiting for the drug inside Jade Moore to fully kick in. A month ago, I went on the dark web and, using the name of an overseas medical expert, sent Jade a so-called miracle serum. Greedy as she was, of course she injected it in private, so she could impress the world again at next week's International Medical Conference. And that drug, under specific, high-pressure conditions, causes the most terrifying hallucinations. Gavin started screaming.
Lydia Gray! You crazy psycho! What are you doing?
Because he saw Jade Moore on the operating table. Her eyes snapped open. Her pupils were unfocused, full of terror.
Stay away! Don't kill me!
Suddenly start convulsing violently.
Kevin Walker, I know I was...
I put down the scalpel and just watched my family's faces turn pale outside the observation window.
The real show starts now.
The cold, white surgical lights in the operating room stung my eyes. The monitor's sharp alarm cut through the silence. Jade's body was shaking violently. Her exposed muscles twisted. Blood sprayed from her unstitched wounds and soaked the surgical drapes. Her eyes rolled back, completely lost in the terrifying hallucinations from the drug. Her screams were hoarse and broken.
Don't trouble, it wasn't me! I didn't kill you!
Outside the observation window, George's face turned pale as paper. All his anger disappeared, replaced by disbelief and panic. Sophia's legs went weak. She grabbed the cold, bulletproof glass, her fingertips turning white. She kept muttering.
No way. No way. How does Jade know Gavin? That was just a medical accident.
Gavin gripped the microphone tightly, his knuckles turning pale. Fear was written all over his face. He suddenly realized the live stream was still on. To force Lydia to give in, he had kept the live stream going the whole time. He never turned off the sound. Jade's crazy screams and her confession were being broadcast live to tens of thousands of viewers. The chat, which had been full of hate, went weirdly silent. 2 seconds later, the comments exploded like boiling water. They scrolled so fast you couldn't even read them.
Kevin Walker? That surgery patient who died 7 years ago? The official report back then said the lead surgeon, Lydia Gray, made a mistake and caused his death. That's why she went to prison. So, the one who messed up wasn't Lydia at all? It was Jade?
Oh my god, the whole internet blamed her for 7 years? Gavin felt cold all over. Sweat ran down his back. He panicked and reached for the button to turn off the live stream, but his fingers were shaking so much. He missed 3 times in a row. The awkward glitching sound came through the speakers into the operating room. It was almost funny. I sat on a sterile stool by the operating table. My right hand rested on the edge of the table. The ugly scar on the back of my hand stood out under the harsh lights. My fingers tapped the table slowly, lazily. Like a calm observer, quietly watching the family outside panic. I knew this was coming. The drug I sent Jade wouldn't kill her, but it would bring out the darkest guilt buried deep in her heart. With the pressure of surgery, the trauma response, and the strong hallucinogenic drug all stacked together, the guilt she had hidden for 7 years had nowhere to run. George spun around and grabbed Gavin's wrist.
Turn off the live stream! Right now! Right now! I'll pay to pressure the platform. Delete all the comments. Erase the recording.
Too late, Mr. Hart. The internet has a memory. Over 100,000 people have already taken screenshots, screen recordings, and shared the video.
Sophia glared at me through the glass, her eyes red.
Lydia! You planned this all along, didn't you? You drugged Jade on purpose! You made her lose it in public! You just wanted to destroy her!
I raised my left hand and gently smoothed down Jade's messy hair. My touch was gentle, but my eyes had no warmth.
7 years ago, her hand shook on the operating table. She punctured Kevin's pulmonary artery. To protect her reputation as a genius, she altered the medical records overnight and blamed everything on me.
You three used fake evidence to send me to prison.
Gavin cut the tendons in my right hand with his own hand. When you destroyed me, did you ever think about leaving me any mercy?
The live stream exploded again. Public opinion had completely flipped. The hateful comments turned into doubt and regret. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Jade's blood pressure dropping fast. Her heart rate was all over the place. She could go into cardiac arrest at any moment. The assisting doctors nearby were pale and stiff. No one dared to touch the surgical instruments. Everyone knew that the person on the table was no longer the beloved genius doctor. She was a murderer and a fraud.
Do something, Lydia! Save her now! I don't care how you do it! You have to save her! If she lives, I'll give you 10 million. I'll give you a mansion in the city. Anything you want. I'll give it to you!
George, you still don't get it. I never wanted your money. I never wanted the status you throw around. I wanted everything you built with your own hands and treasure so much to crumble completely.
I raised my left hand, 5 long, steady fingers, no shaking at all, the perfect contrast to my twisted, shaking right hand. This hand was the result of years of training in that cold prison. I didn't waste a single second in prison. While others fought and gave up, I dissected mice and stitched specimens under dim lights. I wore down my fingertips until they bled, over and over. I trained my left hand to be even better than my right hand had ever been.
You've all been wondering how I can still be the only doctor in the city qualified to do this surgery, even with my cut tendons.
I picked up the thin, curved needle. My left hand moved smoothly, with perfect control.
Now, I'll show you.
The tip of the needle pierced the edge of the red, inflamed blood vessel. The angle was exact to 0.1 millimeters. The pressure was just right. The damaged artery wall was as thin as a butterfly's wing. One wrong move, and it would tear completely. But my left hand was rock steady. Every stitch was tight and perfect, without a single mistake. The medical consultants outside the window leaned forward without realizing it. Their pupils shrank. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. They were all senior experts in the field. They could see how hard this surgery was, and they could see the terrifying precision of my left hand.
It's the hand of God.
Gavin stared at my steady left hand. His nails dug into his palms. The sharp pain kept him awake. Only now did he realize the cut he made that day had destroyed a mortal hand, but it couldn't destroy the medical skill carved into my very bones. I deliberately slowed down the stitching. Every time I finished connecting a section of the vessel, I paused for a few seconds. I let the monitor's alarms keep torturing me. Jade's hallucinations were still going. She kept spilling more truth.
The paper, the one about minimally invasive aortic repair. I didn't write it.
I stole Lydia's draft.
The data in the academic report was all fake. I could never get those clinical results.
I was so scared of being exposed.
I was scared of being ordinary again.
Every word was a sharp knife, slicing through the fake image the Hart family had maintained for years. George swayed. He almost fell. The Hart Medical Group stock price had been propped up by Jade's genius image. If the scandal of academic fraud and medical murder came out, the stock would crash instantly. Years of work would be destroyed. Sophia could no longer keep up her elegant act. She slid down the glass and sat on the floor, tears mixed with fear rolling down her face. She always knew Jade was average and untalented, but she stubbornly favored the child she raised for 20 years. To pave the way for Jade, she cruelly abandoned her own flesh and blood. Now the consequences of her choices had come crashing back on her. The live stream comments had completely flipped. The whole screen was filled with guilt toward me and outrage at the Hart family.
So the genius stole her work. The reputation was all fake. I cursed Lydia 7 years ago. I owe her an apology. Cutting someone's tendon and blizz them online? This family is heartless. Everyone who smashed that car wash dope, apologize now. You destroyed his only safe place.
I glanced at the scrolling comments out of the corner of my eye. I felt nothing. Justice that comes too late means nothing. The sympathy of strangers is cheap and useless. When I was framed and sent to prison 7 years ago, no one spoke up for me. The apologies now won't give me back those 7 years. They won't erase the permanent scar on my hand. 20 minutes later, the last stitch was done. I tied it off cleanly and cut the extra thread. My movements were smooth and precise. The bleeding wound was completely closed. The chaotic heart rate on the monitor slowly steadied. The annoying alarms stopped. Jade stopped shaking. Her eyes were closed. She was in a deep coma. Her vital signs were temporarily stable. The three people outside all breathed a sigh of relief at the same time. Their tense nerves relaxed. Their backs were soaked with cold sweat.
She's alive! She's alive!
Sophia cried tears of joy, muttering to herself.
I knew it. You wouldn't really kill your own sister, Lydia. You're not a bad person. Come back to the Hart family. We can forget the past.
I peeled off my bloody gloves and tossed them into the medical waste bin. The plastic clattered loudly. I picked up the microphone.
Don't get too happy. The aorta is successfully repaired. But I left a tiny reversible injury on the surface of her heart muscle.
My voice was cold and sharp, shattering their brief hope. The three outside the window went pale again.
Can't be seen with the naked eye. Regular equipment won't detect it. It won't kill her, but it will permanently weaken her heart's ability to handle stress. From now on, Jade cannot do surgery, cannot handle high-pressure work, cannot get emotionally worked up. For the rest of her life, she will never hold a scalpel again. She will never be a doctor again.
That thing she spent her whole life chasing, that she treasured like her own life, I crushed it with my own hands. His chest heaved. Rage was destroying his sanity.
You're crazy! Lydia Gray, this is premeditated revenge! I'm gonna sue you! I'm gonna send you back to prison!
I raised an eyebrow.
Sue me? You can try. This surgery was live streamed. Every single move was standard and legal. There's no evidence of misconduct. That tiny injury is a surgical complication. Even the top medical forensics can't prove it was done on purpose.
I had thought of everything. Revenge was never about acting on impulse. It was a careful plan, step by step. Gavin finally couldn't hold back. His voice shook, all his arrogance and coldness gone, replaced by fear and helplessness.
Lydia, let's talk. I know I was wrong. I was lied to back then. I shouldn't have hurt your hand. I shouldn't have bullied you online.
The engagement agreement is still here. I'm willing to honor it and marry you. I'll give you half of Winters Group's assets. Just please spare Jade. Stop going after the Hart family.
He reached into his bag and pulled out that yellowed, torn engagement agreement. His fingers gently smoothed the wrinkles. I walked to the soundproof door that connected to the observation room. I pressed the button to open it. The heavy door slid open slowly. I walked step by step to Gavin. My eyes fell on his fair, slender, perfectly intact hands. These were the hands that once held a sharp scalpel and cut my tendons without mercy.
Marry me?
I laughed coldly.
Gavin, are you still living in the past? You think I still want you? That I still want this pathetic engagement?
I reached up, snatched the engagement agreement from his hand, and ripped it into pieces. The paper made a loud, tearing sound. Shreds fell to the smooth marble floor.
7 years ago, you ruined my hand. You trampled on my dignity. You stood by and watched as they sent me to a dark, hopeless prison.
I leaned close to his ear. My voice was low and cold, full of icy hatred.
Now, you disgust me.
No one had ever crushed his pride so directly and coldly. The shock made him panic.
I know I was wrong. Lydia, give me one more chance.
I stepped aside coldly and avoided him. No hesitation. The disgust in my eyes was direct and sharp.
Too late.
Just then, quick, steady footsteps came from the operating room hallway. The sound of dress shoes got closer. A tall young man walked in. He was carrying a stack of neatly bound documents. It was Cole Fields. He wore a simple black coat. He looked like he had rushed over. Sweat dotted his forehead. His eyes immediately found me. He spotted the burn marks on my back from the stun baton. Pain flashed in his eyes, then quickly disappeared as he calmed himself down. He walked straight to George and slammed the stack of documents onto the metal table. The sound was loud and sharp.
Mr. Hart, this is all the evidence from the medical accident 7 years ago. The altered medical records. The surveillance of Jade using illegal drugs that day. The hidden recording from the operating room. And the bank records of her buying banned drugs. Also, I am submitting additional evidence proving that during Lydia's 7 years in prison, the Hart family used their money to suppress the truth and smear her reputation.
George stared at the evidence on the table. His pupils trembled. His whole body went stiff. He had no fight left in him. He never imagined that this seemingly gentle young man had been quietly collecting evidence for 7 years. Sophia panicked and reached for the documents. Cole sidestepped her easily and looked at her with cold eyes.
Mrs. Hart, 7 years ago, my brother Kevin died on that operating table. The real killer walked free. An innocent person went to prison. Today, I'm here to get justice for the dead.
I looked at Cole. A hint of softness crossed my eyes. It was the only emotion I showed all day. I took out my phone and dialed an encrypted number. My voice was flat as I gave the order.
Falsifying a medical accident, commercial defamation, malicious physical assault, academic fraud. Hand them all over to the federal prosecutor. Open an investigation at the highest level.
A respectful, steady voice answered on the other end. George looked up, his eyes full of terror.
Who did you call? You have other connections.
I slowly pulled out the broken, blackened metal badge from my chest pocket. The badge had simple, dark patterns on it. Understated, but heavy with meaning. This was a token given to me by a mysterious old man in prison. He was the secret owner of an international top-tier medical group. You thought I got out of prison early and hid my identity just to run a little car wash? I rubbed the pattern on the badge with my fingers. My voice was cold.
The only reason I stayed in this city was to wait for you to come to me. So I could settle every single old debt with my own hands.
In less than 3 minutes, heavy, steady footsteps came from the hallway. Several security personnel in black suits with cold expressions walked in quickly. They moved fast, no extra words. They grabbed George, Sophia, and Gavin. George struggled, his face purple.
You can't take me! I'm the chairman of Heart Group! I have money! I can buy my way out of anything!
In the face of real rules, your money is worthless.
I spoke coldly.
You used money to twist the truth back then. Now you pay the price.
The guard grabbed Gavin's wrists. Red marks appeared on his pale skin. He turned his head and stared at me. His eyes were red. His voice cracked.
Lydia, you never loved me, did you? From the moment you came back, all you wanted was revenge?
I glanced at him coldly. No hesitation.
The moment you cut my tendons, every bit of love I had for you died.
No extra explanation. No extra emotion. The love from the past was gone. The three were taken away one by one. The live stream was turned off. I reached up and pressed the off button. The screen went black. The noise from the outside world was cut off. The empty operating room now had only me and Cole and Jade, unconscious on the table, completely finished. The monitor beeped steadily, a fake sign of peace. Cole walked to my side. His eyes fell on the unhealed burn marks on my back. His brow furrowed. He asked softly,
Does it hurt? I brought medicine.
I shook my head gently. I flexed my shaking right hand. The scar still twitched, but it didn't hurt like it used to.
It's fine. This pain is nothing compared to what I went through in prison.
7 years in that dark, damp prison. Violence, sickness, pain. I had turned myself into iron. Physical pain didn't matter anymore.
All the evidence has been submitted. The legal process will move fast.
Cole straightened the documents in his hand. His voice was steady.
Heart Group stock crashed today. All their partners pulled out. They're on the verge of bankruptcy overnight. The three of them are guilty. There's no way out.
I nodded slightly. My eyes were calm as I looked at Jade on the table. She was alive, but she had lost everything she ever cared about. She would carry her guilt for the rest of her life. That was worse than death. It was the perfect punishment for what she did.
Is it over?
Cole asked softly. I turned my head and looked out the window at the bright sunlight. My right hand still shook, but inside, I was completely free. No, I said slowly, my voice firm and calm.
The reckoning has just begun.
7 years ago, besides the Hart family, there were so many others who helped them. The media who lied, the doctors who twisted the truth, the rich and powerful who looked away, everyone who hurt me. I wouldn't let a single one go. I would never be a weak lamb waiting to be slaughtered again. I had top medical skills. I had top connections and money. I would rewrite every injustice with my own hands. I would take back everything that belonged to me. I would tear open the dirty secrets hidden under this city's shiny surface. I took off my bloody surgery gown and threw it in the trash. I was wearing simple black work clothes, covered in oil stains. But I stood up straight. My presence was sharp and cold. Let's go.
Let's go.
I looked at Cole next to me.
Let's go fix that radio first.
His eyes curved into a smile. He nodded gently. We walked out of the cold, silent operating room together. Our backs were straight and determined. Behind us, the once glorious Hart family had fallen. The fake genius was in the dust. All their sins were exposed in the sunlight. At the end of the empty hallway, sunlight poured down. It pushed away the cold darkness that had surrounded me for years. I raised my hand to block the bright light. The scar running across the back of my hand was clear and bright in the sun. The scar will stay forever, but from now on, I am no longer Lydia Gray, the abandoned victim. I hold a sharp blade in my hand. I have light in my heart. I will walk step by step toward every darkness.